Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our live coverage of NROL-192 mission launched from West Coast, that is from PAT Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. We hope you all are doing fine and excited about the upcoming SpaceX launch. Hi, my name is Dipto Mehta. I'll be your host providing commentary for today's mission launch, and you are watching AstroYonder live.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around.
Houston, we see a nominal MECO. Welcome to space.
Today's mission is NROL-192 for the National Reconnaissance Office, also referred to as the NRO. We are waiting for a Falcon 9 liftoff at 11:49 p.m. Pacific time. Well, just a second, I made a mistake. It's 5:25 a.m. Pacific time from Vandenberg Space Force Base for SpaceX launching NROL-192 mission following a southeast trajectory. This is the NRO's 9th proliferated architecture reconnaissance satellite launch and the third of the year. The upcoming NROL-174 launch, which is now targeting no earlier than April 16 at 19 hours UTC from Space Launch Complex 8 at Vandenberg, which will not include any proliferated architecture reconnaissance satellite, meaning that the launch will be a fully classified NRO payload launch built, designed and operated by NRO itself. The Minotaur 4 rocket will launch from Space Launch Complex 8, and with this being the first use of the pad in last 14 years. The next one after the NROL-174, which will be the NROL-145. Again, that will be the 10th batch of the proliferated architecture similar to today's one, and will launch from the same pad as of today. So that means 3 NRO launches in 1 week. The proliferated architecture is a constellation of different spy and relay satellites based on SpaceX's Starshield. Also, it's a joint venture of SpaceX and Northrop Grumman building the payload together. Today's flight carries a national security payload designed, built, and operated by National Reconnaissance Office. NROL mission provide critical information to more than 500,000 government users, including every member of the intelligence community, 24 domestic agencies, nations' military, lawmakers, and decision makers. Now, before moving on to the mission details, firstly, on behalf of AstroYonder team and moderators, we express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone for being a part of today's launch. We really appreciate you being here, and a big thanks to our amazing YouTube community for being here today as we provide detailed coverage of space launches, complete with extensive stats and thorough insights. Right now, we are super excited to bring you the coverage of NROL-192 launch, marking the 41st Falcon 9 and SpaceX's 43rd overall launch of the year. This mission also marks the NRO's 78th launch since public disclosure of the launches, which began back in December 1996. This mission also marks 14th NRO launch on a Falcon 9. Now just a heads up, it's me managing the show for our launches. So if we hit any technical issues, hang tight, but nothing to worry about. I'll do my best to walk you through the Falcon 9 rocket launch happening in approximately 42 minutes from now. Now let's get back into the mission details. So far, SpaceX reports that the weather is looking good for today's Falcon 9 launch opportunity and the range is ready to support. The forecast calls for a temperature of 9.4 degrees Celsius, 98% cloud cover, and a wind speed of 17 miles per hour. Currently, SpaceX is targeting a liftoff time of Falcon 9 from Vandenberg at 5:25 a.m. Pacific Time, 8:25 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, April 12th, that is today. We hope that they are able to launch on time and not have to push off too far. But if for some reason we do not have the launch today, we have an additional opportunity tomorrow, that is Sunday, April 13th, with launch window opening at 5:09 a.m. Pacific Time, 8:09 a.m. Eastern Time. Now let's talk about today's payload details. Today's mission is NROL-192 for the National Reconnaissance Office, also referred to as the NRO. This mission carries national security payload designed, built, and operated by the National Reconnaissance Office. We don't have any images of the payload, unfortunately, as it is a classified mission launch, but on your screen you can see some declassified images of NROL-129, early SOS satellite, NROL-111 payload, and images of Starshield. All the previous consecutive 8 proliferated architecture missions took flight on Falcon 9 itself, with 6 of them just took place last year, and recently NROL-153 in January and NROL-57 in March this year. This is the 9th batch of the NRO's new imaging satellite constellation built by SpaceX and Northrop Grumman. The satellites were built under a classified $1.8 billion contract awarded by the NRO in 2021 to SpaceX and Northrop Grumman. According to some sources, satellites for today will have an inclination of around 69.7 to 70 degrees of inclination, with low Earth orbit altitude of being 310 kilometers approximately. But this is not officially confirmed. Part of the NROL-192 mission likely consists of several Starshield satellites, or perhaps all the satellites are Starshield, but we can say for sure as there is limited disclosure about the payload details. But some sources mention that approximately 22 Starshield plus some Starlink satellites are going to be launched. Again, this has not been confirmed by SpaceX, Northrop Grumman, or the National Reconnaissance Office. Unfortunately, for the payload details for this mission is unknown, as it's a classified launch for the NRO. We don't know how many satellites will launch on this NRO mission or the projected size of the new constellation. These satellites delivers intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance, also acronymed as ISR. In military operations, ISR plays a critical role. It involves gathering information about enemy forces, battlefield conditions, and other relevant intelligence. ISR encompasses complex technologies, tools, and techniques used for the surveillance and reconnaissance. Land, sea, air, and space as well performs all contribute to platforms all contribute to ISR efforts in supporting operations. Now let's move on to the booster supporting today's mission and take a look at the flight record. The booster with tail number 1071 supporting today's mission is quite a mature booster with 23 previous flights in its record, including 4 NROL mission, that is NROL 87, 85, 146 and 153. Two SpaceX's rideshare transporter 8 and 9 missions, Sarah 1, SWAT, and the second flight for SpaceX's new rideshare Bandwagon 2 mission. Additionally, the booster also supported 14 Starlink missions. Now awaiting its 24th flight, just 35 minutes away from now. The booster's turnaround time as of today is 60 days, and the last mission supported by today's booster was the Starlink Group 11-10 from here at Vandenberg on 10th of February this year. This launch also marks the third flight of this supporting booster, and it is worth mentioning that this booster, all of its 23 previous launches from here at Vandenberg itself. Now let's take a look at the bar graph showing the number of Falcon 9 launches each year. Before today's launch, SpaceX completed its 40th 40th Falcon 9 launch for this year with the Starlink Group 11-11 mission from here at Vandenberg on 7th of April, obscuring the number of annual launches made till year 2021, now having 9 more than launches made in 2021. Would like to welcome Don DeRuin joining us here. I hope I pronounced your name properly. If not, then my sincere apologies, Don. Thanks for tuning in and hope you will be enjoying the stream. Also would like to welcome Joyce Lynn once again joining us. Thanks, Joyce, for tuning in. Unfortunately, due to the scrub for 12-17 mission, we couldn't make it in the earlier in the day, but hopefully tomorrow we can stream it, and would like to and we would like to have you with us. We're glad to know that I could pronounce well your name, Don. Actually, your surname was a little bit critical to say for me, but anyways, if I pronounced it, then it's fine. But what is there to laugh about more about the morning, Joyce? Can you tell me? Meanwhile, let me complete with this paragraph. With today's launch of the NRO 192 mission, the bar graph depicts 41 Falcon 9 launches for 2025, and SpaceX is now less than halfway to the number of Falcon 9 launches made in the year 2022, now being 20 less number of launches from that, including today's launch. Previously, SpaceX completed 132 launches of Falcon 9 last year, making a year with the highest annual launches to date for SpaceX. According to a previous Elon's tweet, possibly we could see around 180 Falcon 9 launches this year. Well, I will be skipping the pre-launch timeline as because it's just a typical Falcon 9 pre-launch timeline. There is nothing deviation, no deviation in the pre-launch schedule for the Falcon 9 today. But yes, so one thing I would like to mention that the process of the rec- strong back reclining at Cape Canaveral and Kennedy Space Center differs from here at Vandenberg. Here at Vandenberg, we recline the strong back 13 degrees away from the Falcon 9, whereas at Cape Canaveral and Kennedy Space Center, we recline it about a degree and a half. So that's all will be the difference in the pre-launch timeline for the Falcon 9 for today's mission. Once again, just a reminder, SpaceX is currently targeting a liftoff time of Falcon 9 from Vandenberg at 5:25 a.m. Pacific Time, 8:25 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, April 12th, that is today. Well, you guys are throwing these hard names to pronounce. Well, let me try. But first of all, I would like to welcome Marcel for joining us. I hope this much I could pronounce it right. Marcel van der Pagel. Let me see. Tell me, did I pronounce it well or not? And if not, again, my apologies for that. No, Don, I'm not located at the base. If I would have been there, somehow I would have managed to have a live feed for you guys, but while discussing the stuff. And that's what I am trying now, but without your and everyone's support, I can't do so. I want to have a live feed of all the pets from Florida, as well as to have a Starbase 24 into 7 feed on our channel so that you guys can tune in. Although I know there are many channels having this facility for you guys, but it's my dream, and hopefully I will be able to fulfill it with all your kind support. Now, moving on, let's briefly step through the trajectory for today's mission. With the NROL-192 classified payload on board, the reconnaissance satellites, Falcon 9 will lift off from Space Launch Complex 4 East from Vandenberg Space Force Base for a somewhat southeasterly trajectory along the coast of Southern California, heading into its designated orbit, indicated by that green line on your screen. Although the specific orbit, trajectory, and inclination are not known for the classified nature of the NRO launch. The red line you see indicates where Falcon 9 first stage will land after stage separation just a little later, leaving California's coast. And this is going to be a off the land landing, a drone ship landing using autonomous spaceport drone ship named, of course, I Still Love You, here on the west coast. This will be the 126th landing on, of course, I Still Love You to date. And the planned booster recovery is approximately 577 kilometers, with estimated fairing recovery approximately 600 kilometers downrange. And the stage 2 debris re-entry will be in the southern Pacific Ocean after first orbit. Currently, there are 3 in SpaceX's drone ship fleet. Of the 3 drone ships, just read the instructions, and a shortfall of Gravitas are stationed in at Florida, while of course I Still Love You is stationed here in California. Here are some of the stats for the drone ship for your reference. Meanwhile, let me have a look at the chat. Well, sorry, Marcel. I should be saying it Marcel, but I'm sorry for that. I'm not a, what can I say? I didn't want it to be a butcher slaughtering your name at least. So please pardon me, and thanks for your donation regarding our dream to get fulfilled of the live cam feeds. Really thanks for your support. Now, speaking of the fairing recovery, excuse me, SpaceX will utilize the recovery vessel Go Beyond here at the west coast to retrieve them from Pacific waters. The 2 halves of the payload fairing will be recovered slightly farther, approximately 23 kilometers downrange from where the first stage lands on the drone ship after they will smoothly splash down with the guidance of parachutes. You can see on your screen how a fairing recovery operation looks like. Although the recovery vessel shown on your screen is Doug at the Atlantic, but today's recovery support vessel is Go Beyond here in the Pacific. Meanwhile, the other recovery vessels on the east coast, Bob, guess it is underway for the upcoming Starlink 6-73 mission, which will be featuring the record-breaking 27th flight for a Falcon 9 booster with tail number 1067, while Doug is waiting to support the upcoming Starlink 12-17 mission And Co-Cosmos is currently located in the Gulf of Mexico, which is awaiting its next assignment. I don't know what is happening with the Go Cosmos. From long, it's not um, supporting any mission, and mostly it's staying moored and is being getting at different places. I think they are doing some kind of refurbishment or something is going on with Go Cosmos. I can't say for sure. Now, if you feel we are adding value to your viewing experience, please consider giving this stream a like, which helps YouTube's algorithm bring in more space lovers and rocket fans like you to discover this stream out, helping us to build a community with amazing space enthusiasts, of course, again, like you. Also, consider smashing the subscribe button and turning on the bell notification so that you will get time to time update for our upcoming streams as we work hard to bring you detailed streams with stats and insights. We would be super grateful for your kind support. Now we are right now just 10 minutes away from the webcast to begin. So let's quickly go through the stats we have for you to discuss with. But before proceeding, give us a few moments to check if the launch is proceeding as scheduled and to keep ourselves updated. Well, yes, it's on time, no issues. I guess today's scrub for the Starlink 12-17 mission was due to the weather because just after they declared that they will be not attempting the launch today earlier, like it was at past midnight. I saw the weather there at the Cape Canaveral, and the weather was not looking good, and there were some few high clouds with like moderate to low rain was going on there. So maybe for that, and of course, the weather forecast later on they said that it was 60% favorable. It was 60% favorable condition for that launch to have. Maybe for that they did so, but if they would have not pushed the initial mentioned lift off time, I guess they could have made it within that time because it was a 4 hour launch window. Anyways, coming to some stats related to today's mission launch. Actually, it's Doug. I don't know, Marshall or Marcel. Um I think maybe it's for the gap of the Ascent we have in between. But anyways, it's just we have to understand what we are. Well, happy to know that Joyce, you are liking these jokes. Actually, it took me a lot of time to figure out these jokes and to place them so that while on chat, you guys can have some entertainment going on. Also, would like to welcome Marcos Antonia for joining us. Thanks, Marcos. After a long while, I got to have you with us. Hope you are doing well. Also, we hope that you will be enjoying this stream. Now, today's launch marks 469th SpaceX's overall launch. Today's launch marks the ninth batch of NRO's proliferated architecture-based constellation. and the 14th dedicated non-Starlink launch of this year. This is going to be the 456th Falcon 9 launch to date. The 24th flight of this particular Falcon 9 booster supporting today's mission, with tail number 1071 being in action after 60 days. Today's mission marks 41st Falcon 9 launch and SpaceX's 43rd overall launch of 2025. This will be 399th Falcon 9 booster. Excuse me, every time I make this mistake, this will be the 399th Falcon booster reflight to date. That is the launch of a booster that has flown at least once before. It means about the whole Falcon family, not just about the Falcon 9. The Falcon 9 booster reflight stats I'll be saying in a while. 120th orbital launch for SpaceX, launching from Space Launch Complex 4 East, which also marks the 187th overall orbital launch from this pad. Now moving on to some reusability statistics. This launch marks 383rd Falcon 9 booster reflight to date. This will be the 126th landing on Of Course I Still Love You drone ship. 24th landing of the first stage booster with tail number 1071 supporting today's mission. And with this mission's first stage landing, SpaceX will be having 342nd overall drone ship landing, marking 410th Falcon 9 landing to date, which also marks 429th SpaceX's overall landing. And I don't know, guys, whether you guys are checking the SpaceX's website. Something is wrong with their websites. A few days ago, their stats were lagging with the actual number of stats. Now, all of a sudden, they are ahead of the actual number of stats. I don't know. Although some rumors are going on that this SpaceX's and every possible sites connected to Elon will be getting hacked or something. Well, this is just a rumor and it's been on the news. Now, I was just following the news, that's why I'm saying. And maybe, of course, they would have, if they would have hacked it, they would have not made these stats to alter. But just I see it as due to these discrepancies I'm seeing in the stats on the SpaceX's website. Although the stats I'm seeing, these are being maintained by me from the like maybe 5-7 years ago, so there are very less possibility of any mistakes, and I do regular audit of these stats. Now here are some of the drone ship landing stats prior to today's mission, so don't get confused with the number here. You guys can see on the right hand side corner it is mentioned it is prior to the launch, so the numbers are not including today's landing for the drone ship. Once again, we have a request for you guys. I know it's repetitive, but it's just for you, for us to have a more bigger community with amazing people and space enthusiasts like you. If you feel that we are adding value to your viewing experience, kindly hit the like button, which helps YouTube's algorithm to catch the drift and bring more space lovers and rocket buffs our way. Now let's have a look into some key stats for SpaceX launches in this year, including today's mission. With today's mission, SpaceX will be having its 43rd launch of this year. Out of those, 27 were Starlink missions, 14 are non-Starlink missions for commercial and government organizations, including today's one, and 2 Starship launches. 39 of these missions used a reused booster, including today's one. The geographical distributions are that they have 27 launches from East Coast. On West Coast, with today's launch, they will be having 14 launches. As of now, 2 launches from Gulf Coast at Starbase in Texas, with the Starship 7th and 8th test flight, and 2 Starship Heavy booster catches for both the test flights. For landings, they will be nailing it for the 39th time this year. Most of the landings are on drone ship with 32 landings. And today, of course, I Still Love You will be having its 10th landing for this year. For ground landings, well, for the drone ship, as of now, a shortfall of Gravitas is leading among the fleet. Now for the ground landings, they pulled off 7 times, where landing zone 1 had 3 landings and landing zone 4 witnessed 4 landings. I guess it's time for the webcast to begin. Well, yes, they are playing some music. Let me just set up the stream for you guys. Right now they are playing some music, so which I can't allow to play them on our stream due to copyright issues. So please bear with me until they are starting the stream. Once they will be starting the stream, I will be patching in the audio for you guys. Thanks, Don, for subscribing us. I hope we will be meeting your expectations in today's launch and in future launches. Thanks for your support. And Marcel, I don't know, sometimes the streams are working fine. Recently we had some good amount of views and people staying on our stream. I guess it's something with the, again, it's something with, not something, everything with the YouTube's algorithm. But anyways, each of you are important for me, so I don't run after the count. And well, they are starting the stream. Well, I just want to remind you guys that as per NRO's request, we will not be getting any views of the payload or the second stage, and the webcast will be ending just after the first stage landing. So today we won't be getting those awesome views from the second stage while coasting on space. Just we'll be getting the first stage view. We'll be patching in the audio shortly for you guys. Let this video to be get done.
Very early good morning and welcome to the NROL-192 launch webcast. The Falcon 9 rocket on your screen is currently awaiting liftoff from Space Launch Complex 4 East, or Slick 4E, at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California, just about 8 minutes from now. Hello everyone, my name is Zachary Lupin, and I'm an avionics supply chain engineer here at SpaceX.
And I'm Annie Tway, a recovery operations engineer here at SpaceX. Today's mission carries a national security payload design built and operated by the National Reconnaissance Office, or NRO. This mission continues the NRO's cutting-edge capability of building and developing the U.S. government's largest satellite constellation in history to deliver critical information that can only be obtained from the vantage point of space.
Now, both the range and vehicle are currently green, and we are on track for an on-time liftoff at 5:25 a.m. Pacific Time. However, if needed, a backup opportunity is available on Sunday, April 13th, starting at 5:03 a.m. Now, as a note, we will not be showing any Stage 2 or payload deployment views at the request of our customer. But there's still a lot to cover, so for now, let's meet our Falcon 9 rocket.
Falcon 9 is a two-stage rocket developed and manufactured by SpaceX, known for its safe, reliable, and cost-effective access to space.
Engine chill has started.
Good call out, engine chill has started. It is also the first orbital class rocket capable of reflight. In fact, this will be the 24th flight of the first stage booster supporting this mission. Together, the Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy have completed 468 launches overall. Today, the booster will be attempting to land on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, which is currently stationed out in the Pacific Ocean.
Now, recovering Falcon 9 boosters for reuse helps to drastically reduce launch costs, helps increase launch frequency, and enables a wide array of new government, commercial, and scientific opportunities in space.
Stage 1 RP-1 load is complete.
Good call out there. Lowering the cost of access to space is helping take humanity's next steps into the solar system, whether that be LEO, GEO, interplanetary, or even deep space.
When the costs are lower, government and commercial customers can launch more missions, which helps accelerate development. This also helps commercial satellite and private research customers afford to launch more projects to space, which helps stimulate innovation here on Earth. Missions like SpaceX's transporter and bandwagon rideshare programs help make access to space.
I would like to welcome Fairmate for joining us, one of our moderator here. I just checked in your time at your place, Fairmate. Such late you are still up. But thanks that you showed up.
On the vehicle continue to look good for today's launch.
And also, I'm sorry for not replying on X. I didn't got a little time to talk with you. So please pardon me for that. As soon as I will get some time, I will be replying back to you. I just need some me time so that I can talk to you freely.
And the strong back will recline away from the Falcon 9 rocket.
Falcon 9 tanks are pressing for strong back retract.
Good call out there.
So as we heard that Falcon 9 tanks are pressing for the strong back retract, which means that we are adding some
at the base of the TE, but the TE is hinged and will retract away from the vehicle in preparation for launch. You may hear the TE referred to as the strong
back retract has started.
And there you have heard the strong back has retracted, starting to retract. The strong back from the launch does a lot of heavy lifting in the lead up to launch. It is designed to transport, raise, and support Falcon 9 in the launch pad. The TE is also equipped with umbilicals or flexible lines that are used to route the vehicle's fluids, power, and telemetry from the ground systems to the rocket and payload until Falcon 9 switches to internal power and clears the pad.
Now, at this point in the countdown, both the first and second stages are nearly fully loaded with 1 million.
And there you go. You can see the strong back getting reclined, getting apart from the Falcon 9 slowly.
T-minus 3 minute mark, and the second stage finishing up at the T-minus 2 minute mark. Now,
we are waiting for now stage 1 LOX load to be complete.
Those clouds are comprised of the chilled gas above the LOX tank that gets vented overboard to maintain pressure in the tank as needed. And when that vented oxygen mixes with the warmer California air, it condenses into the clouds that you see there on your screen. Now, at the T-minus 60-second mark, Falcon 9 will be in startup. This means that the rocket's autonomous internal flight computers will have taken over the launch countdown. And just inside of T-minus 2 seconds, we'll light the M1...
1, LOX load is complete.
Good call out there. Just inside T-minus 2 seconds, we'll light the M1D engines for liftoff.
Coming up, we are waiting for stage 2 LOX load to complete.
Continues to be healthy, and the Falcon 9 team is tracking no issues on the rocket. And the weather is still looking green, and the range is ready to support our T0 of 5:25 a.m. Pacific time. And with that, we're proceeding into the last minutes of terminal countdown.
Upon stage 2 LOX load completion, Falcon 9 will be having filled with 1 million pounds of propellant.
Falcon 9 will be fully loaded with 1 million pounds of fuel and oxidizer. We should be hearing that call out shortly on the nets. At the T-minus 1 minute mark, we will be hearing a call out that Falcon 9 is in startup, and this will mean that the
Stage 2 LOX load is complete.
And there we go.
Stage 2 LOX loading completion. At that T-minus 1...
Now we are beginning to vent down the pressure that was in the tubing on the strong back. That's why you can see those clouds coming out there. Sooner we will be having the call out for ground gas closeout. And there we go.
Another good call out there.
Here we bleed the pressure off, and that cold gas, when it reacts with the moist humid air, which gives you that nice white cloud, an indicator of upcoming launch. Next event, as you heard, is at 1 minute. We should be here the call out that Falcon 9 flight computers are in startup and controlling the rocket for the remainder of the countdown.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Right on time. Falcon 9 flight computers on both the stages are running the rocket through the last minute of count. Now let's listen to the go call out.
LD is go for launch.
At T-minus 40 seconds, all systems are go for the launch of our Falcon 9. So let's sit back and listen in to the final countdown.
And there we go, SpaceX launch director giving go for the launch.
T-minus 30 seconds.
We are in the final moments of the terminal count.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9. Go SpaceX, go NROL-192.
Vehicle is pitching downrange. M1D propulsion is nominal.
With a heart-throbbing roar, Falcon 9 have a successful liftoff. Falcon 9 has cleared the tower. Stage 1 engine chamber pressure is nominal. We got that call out. We are at T plus 40 seconds into the flight. It's on its way with the NRO's classified payload into the low orbit. Right now, Falcon 9 is in the supersonic phase. We have exceeded Mach 1 on the Falcon 9. Now Falcon 9 is faster than the speed of sound as we have gone supersonic. We did pass the max Q. We are through the period of maximum stress on the vehicle. We have throttled the Merlin engines back up to full power. Coming up, we will be having a call out for MVAC engine chill.
All 9 M1D engines shut down to slow the vehicle down in preparation for stage separation, which is where the first stage separates from the second stage. Following this, the MVAC engine on the second stage will light, which is called out as second stage start 1, or SES 1.
Now this engine burn lasting...
Stage 2 engine chill.
Good call out there. This engine burn, which will last several minutes, will propel the second stage and the payload to orbit. And in addition to these major events, the fairing halves will separate about 30 seconds after SES-1. So keep an eye out for all of these events coming up in about 20 seconds from now. And as a reminder, we will not have any views of the Falcon 9 second stage or the payload at the request of our customer.
Right now we are chilling the MVAC engine prior to its ignition after the stage separation. A good awesome views from the first stage.
Nico? Stage separation confirmed. Stage 2 startup.
And we just got all the back-to-back callouts for all these events in rapid succession. Right now, nitrogen thrusters is now beginning to rear in the first stage, and the 4 hypersonic titanium grade fins started to slowly begin deploying by the command issued by flight computers now that the stage separation is successful. We did got the call out that the fairing separation has been completed successfully.
To Earth with our recovery vessel, Go Beyond. We're currently at T plus 3 minutes and 20 seconds into today's mission. Now the next major milestone coming up in about 2.5 minutes from now will be the entry burn of the Falcon 9 booster as it continues on its journey towards our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, which is currently stationed in the Pacific Ocean. Now to start the entry burn, we will relight 3 of the M1D engines on the booster, which is similar to pumping the brakes to slow down the vehicle as it passes back into the Earth's atmosphere. We need to slow down the vehicle to reduce re-entry forces, which then helps us recover and reuse the first stage.
Right now we are watching the Falcon 9 first stage, but the second stage is in its middle of 6-minute burn, and it's on its way into the parking orbit with the payload of reconnaissance satellite on board. Up until now, the launch has been excellent and smooth. Unfortunately, due to the customer's request, we won't be getting any views from the second stage for today's mission. The first stage has completed its task and is en route back. The second stage is operating at maximum capacity. And we are getting spectacular views from first stage. Currently, we are preparing for the first stage to make its return to the drone ship landing site at the Pacific on the drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You. Well, yes, it is Go Beyond here at the Pacific. Bob and Doug are at the East Coast. At the West Coast is Go Beyond. And we are now waiting for the stage 1 entry burn startup, and we will be having that burn to last around 21 seconds. That stage 1 entry burn startup is expected at T plus 6 minutes and 9 seconds approximately, and should be ending at T plus 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
We should be hearing that call out for the Falcon 9 first stage entry burn in just a few moments from now.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
And there's a confirmation. We have just lit 3 of Merlin 1D engines on the first stage. Right now we are rapidly slowing down the vehicle as it enters the Earth's atmosphere, and this burn, as I mentioned, should last just around 21 seconds. You can see the deceleration of the first stage on the bottom left hand side of your screen from the telemetry. Now next call out we are waiting for is for stage 1 transonic, and after that we will be having the stage 1 landing burn.
At liftoff, Falcon 9's first stage has thrust greater than 5 747 airplanes at full power. Now, the 10th engine on our rocket stack, the MVAC engine, located on the second stage, possesses a much wider nozzle and is optimized to 220,500 pounds of thrust in vacuum. Coming up in about 30 seconds, we should hear that call out for the landing burn of the Falcon 9 first stage. This landing burn is
Just a
another quick call out.
we did got call out for stage 1 being transonic, and we did got call out for stage 2 FTS being saved. So I was just going to mention about the stage 2 FTS being saved. What it means that the orbital insertion burn is now complete, and stage 1 FTS has been saved. Previously we did got the call out, which means that
Stage 1 landing burn.
and there we go. Right now we are getting great views of the landing burn with the center E9 engine now lit. We are slowing down the vehicle very rapidly. Should be seeing those landing legs deploy any seconds now.
Landing leg deployed.
Landing legs deployed. And there you have it.
Confirmed.
And there
We have successfully made the 410th landing of an orbital class Falcon 9 rocket. Coming up next, we will be having the second stage engine cutoff, that is SECO 1, and following that event we will enter into about 44 minutes of coast phase as the vehicle ascends to its target orbit. Now we will be wrapping up the stream. Today's launch marks SpaceX's 469th successful mission, and the landing marks their 429th success. With that, we will wrap up our coverage for today's mission. But before that, want to thank you for wherever you are watching our live coverage. Can't do this broadcast without you and your support. Once again, thanks for your continued presence and support for what we do here at AstroYonder. Be sure to check out our social media handle on X for the latest happening in the space industry and updates on the upcoming launches. The link is, I guess, on the chat. Don't forget to tune in the upcoming launch of the Starlink 12-17 mission. The stream is already placed in our channel. Also for the stream for another Starlink mission, followed by that Starlink 6-73 mission, which will be having the 27th flight for a Falcon 9 booster to date. I hope you all enjoyed the stream and we could add value to your viewing experience. We appreciate everyone joining us for today's launch. Wishing you a nice weekend ahead. And thanks, Marcel, again, maybe I'm butchering your name. Thanks, Fairmate. Thanks, Don, for tuning in. And I hope I made your day a bit filled with love, joys. Thanks for tuning in. We would love to have you all in the upcoming launches. So, if possible, try to visit us. Once again, thanks everyone for watching the stream with us. This is AstroYonder Live and me, Dipto, sign off for now, and we will see you next time.